Morning friends, happy Wednesday, how the heck you doing? Has Amanda Plateau been sat out in the sun too long? I think so, because her brain appears to have been changed into a mashed banana. It is hot in the UK, by the way, but that's no excuse for journalism like this. Why Kate must stand firm and protect her family from the Sussex's manipulation. No evidence of any manipulation. They left the country to get on with their own lives, and most of all her children. Now this is the concerning part. Is this the unpaid PR machine for Kensington Palace trying to give Kate and William some legitimacy from preventing cousins, the children, Harry and Meghan's children, their children, from meeting each other and forming a relationship? And I think it is. We all know the media in the UK is an unpaid PR machine for the absolute circus, which is the royal family. And this is them trying to get ahead of it, saying, well, you know, we don't want the kids to be around this fake manipulation, so this is Kate and William's get out of jail card free. It's absolutely bonkers, isn't it? And this headline absolutely stinks of racism. There's no other word for it. We know that Meghan, and part of her background, was the reason she was driven out of the royal family. That's why Harry had to follow her. And it's still here, isn't it? Let's put a label on Meghan and Harry as manipulation geniuses, when everybody knows that's not what's happened at all. This royal family is a shame and an embarrassment to the UK. There's no other way to describe them.
At this point, reading some of these royal articles feels less like reading news and more like watching somebody settle a personal grudge with a keyboard. Seriously. You open the article expecting facts, and 5 minutes later you're wondering if the writer accidentally submitted fan fiction. The latest piece aimed at Meghan is a perfect example. Every paragraph seems determined to squeeze her into the role of villain. It's like they've already decided on the ending and are just making up scenes along the way. And regular people notice this stuff. We're not stupid. Most of us have dealt with that one co-worker who gets blamed for everything. Printer broken? Their fault. Coffee machine dead? Their fault. Building catches fire? Somehow still their fault. That's exactly what these stories are starting to feel like. The formula never changes. Meghan breathes. Headline. Meghan smiles. Headline. Meghan launches a project. 3 headlines at a panel discussion. At some point, people stop taking it seriously because the routine becomes too obvious. What makes the whole thing funny is how predictable it has become. Before an article is even published, you can practically write the script yourself. Step 1, blame Meghan. Step 2, ignore anything that doesn't fit the story. Step 3, act shocked when readers start rolling their eyes. Then comes the grand finale, where one side gets wrapped in bubble wrap and protected from criticism, while the other gets hit with every negative label available. It's exhausting, not because people care about royal drama 24 hours a day, because people care about fairness. Out here in the real world, folks are dealing with rent, bills, jobs, school runs, and trying to keep their sanity intact. They don't have time for narratives that bend themselves into pretzels just to protect certain people. What many readers want is simple. Show the facts, show all the facts, not just the ones that fit a pre-written script. The problem is that some commentators seem addicted to the same old storyline. They keep reheating leftovers and serving them as breaking news, and then they wonder why trust keeps dropping. You ever noticed how some people get Employee of the Month treatment for doing the absolute bare minimum? That's what this whole conversation reminds me of. Every time Kate pops up at an event, parts of the media react like she just finished building a hospital with her bare hands. She steps out of a car, historic. She smiles at a crowd, extraordinary. She wears a nice outfit, front page news for 3 straight days. Meanwhile, regular people are sitting there like, okay, but what exactly did she do? And that's where things get awkward, because the moment someone asks for specifics, the room suddenly goes quiet. Not the photos, not the fashion, not the carefully staged appearances, actual work, actual projects, actual results. People keep hearing words like duty, service, and dedication, but nobody seems able to point to a long list of accomplishments that match the size of the praise. It's like being told somebody is the MVP of the team, then finding out their biggest contribution was sitting on the bench looking photogenic. The math isn't adding up. What makes ordinary folks raise an eyebrow is the double standard. The same commentators who hand out endless praise for public appearances suddenly become extremely critical when Harry and Meghan launch businesses, sign deals, create projects, or earn their own income. Think about that for a second. One side gets applauded for showing up, the other gets roasted for actually working. How does that make sense? Imagine telling somebody working 2 jobs that they're less impressive than someone attending a ribbon-cutting ceremony. You'd get laughed out of the room. That's why so many people have stopped taking these narratives seriously. The public isn't blind. People know the difference between performance and output. They know the difference between image and output. And they definitely know when they're being sold a story that sounds more polished than believable. The funniest part is watching commentators act shocked whenever someone asks basic questions. What has she actually accomplished? It's not some wild conspiracy theory, it's literally the first question any manager would ask during a performance review. If someone at your workplace received endless promotions, endless praise, endless glowing reviews, you'd naturally wonder what achievements earned all that applause. That's normal. That's common sense. But somehow, when the conversation turns royal, asking for receipts suddenly becomes controversial. Can somebody explain this logic to me? Because I'm genuinely confused. The people who sign contracts, launch businesses, create products, make deals, and earn their own money get called grifters, but the people born into castles are supposedly the hard-working heroes? What kind of upside-down math is this? That's the part that makes regular people laugh. Because out here in the real world, if you want money, you usually have to get up, go to work, answer emails you don't want to answer, sit through meetings you don't want to attend, and survive co-workers who somehow reply all to every message on Earth. That's work. That's how most people pay their bills. Yet somehow, when Harry and Meghan do exactly what millions of people do, build income streams and support themselves, the criticism starts flying like confetti at a parade. It's wild. And then there's Meghan. This woman had a career before the royal family. She wasn't sitting around waiting for a prince to rescue her from a tower. She had jobs, she earned money, she built a name for herself. She walked into that relationship as an accomplished adult, not a blank sheet of paper. But somehow every discussion magically skips over that part. Funny how that works. It's like watching somebody edit a movie and remove half the scenes because they don't fit the storyline they want to sell. The audience notices. People always notice. That's why so many readers are starting to side-eye these articles, not because they're obsessed with royal gossip, because they can smell inconsistency from a mile away. If someone starts their own company, they're called ambitious. If someone signs a business deal, they're called entrepreneurial. If someone builds wealth from their own efforts, they're usually congratulated. Until certain names enter the conversation. Then suddenly the rules change. Then suddenly success becomes suspicious. Then suddenly earning your own money is somehow a character flaw. Make it make sense. The funniest thing is watching commentators act like the public can't see what's happening. People aren't robots. They're not just downloading every headline directly into their brains. They compare stories. They remember previous stories. They notice patterns. And when the same people keep getting painted as heroes, while the same people keep getting painted as villains, eventually folks start asking questions. A lot of questions. At the end of the day, this isn't even about royal drama anymore. It's about credibility. Because once people feel like they're being fed a one-sided story over and over again, trust starts disappearing faster than free food at an office party. And once trust leaves the building, good luck getting it back. That's the real problem. Not Harry, not Meghan. The growing number of people who have stopped accepting headlines at face value and started asking, wait a minute, does this actually add up? Now hold on a second, because this whole situation is starting to look a little too convenient. Harry and Meghan's UK visit gets people talking, social media wakes up, headlines start flying, and suddenly everybody else wants a seat at the table. You know that person who sees a crowd forming and immediately walks over asking, what's going on? That's the vibe some of this coverage is giving. The minute Harry's name pops up, the media machine starts doing cat appeals. All of a sudden, it's not just about Harry anymore, it's Harry and William, Harry and Kate, Harry and some unnamed palace source who apparently spends 24 hours a day leaking feelings to reporters. The formula is so predictable at this point you could set your watch to it. A visit gets mentioned, a headline appears, then another, then a mysterious insider suddenly has concerns, then another insider is disappointed, then somebody is reportedly upset, then somebody else is reportedly worried. Reportedly. Always reportedly. These palace insiders must be the busiest people in Britain. They seem to have more free time than retired uncles sitting outside a corner shop discussing football all day. And here's what makes regular people laugh. If Harry and Meghan truly weren't important to the conversation, why does every conversation somehow end up circling back to them? That's the question, because every time attention shifts in their direction, it feels like half the media ecosystem suddenly develops an irresistible urge to join the discussion. It's like showing up to somebody else's birthday party and trying to blow out the candles yourself. Relax, there's enough cake for everybody. What many people notice is how difficult it seems for certain commentators to discuss royal news without turning it into a Harry and Meghan subplot. The headlines practically write themselves. Harry sneezes, breaking news. Meghan launches something, panel discussion. A visit gets announced, emergency analysis from 12 experts and 3 anonymous sources. Meanwhile, ordinary people are watching all this unfold thinking, didn't we hear this exact story last month? Because the cycle never seems to end.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this podcast. I really hope you enjoyed the podcast. Thanks again for supporting this channel. Every comment, every share, every like, every subscription is not taken for granted. May God bless you all. May you never lack. I love you all so much. May God bless you all. I'll catch you in the next episode. And goodbye.